Deputy Chief of Mission at the Embassy of Israel in Washington, D.C. He's joining us now from Rockville in Maryland. Mr. Arbell, thank you very much for being with us here on TRT World. Now, what's the fact that Israel has again had an inconclusive result? Tell us about the democracy in that country.
Well, it's a vibrant democracy, but the fact that for the fourth time there's a deadlock and there's no clear result, obviously it's a political crisis, it's a constitutional crisis, and it's stalemate, and it's very difficult for ordinary Israelis on a daily basis to deal with this issue when their country faces such tough challenges as COVID, the economic fallout of COVID, and security issues. And so clearly it's not a good sign. And the fact that Netanyahu will not be able to assemble a coalition, his opponents also have a difficulty of doing so. And that may send the country to a fifth election in just over 2 years in the fall. And there's no end in sight, unfortunately, right now.
We'll come on to the coalition building in a moment, Mr. Arbell, but I just wonder, can you give us a sense of how Netanyahu is still so popular in the face of those corruption charges?
Well, Netanyahu has, similar to Donald Trump, actually, Netanyahu has his political base, which is with him through thick or thin. They support him no matter what he does, no matter what charges he faces, or no matter what policies he carries out. They're just very loyal to him. Israeli politics is very much like Turkish politics. It's identity politics. And there's a clear association and affiliation of voters with the party that they've been loyal to for so many years. So they're loyal to Mr. Netanyahu, and they will continue to be loyal to him. But you have to pay attention to the fact that support for his party, Likud, in the current polls has gone down by, right now, in the Israeli parliament, it has 36 seats, but after the new elections, it's down to 30. So there is lowering support, still strong support, but lower than before.
And I wonder if you can help us with an assessment of Mr. Mansour Abbas, the leader of the United Arab List, a small Arab party. There is reporting that he could have a big impact on the future of Israeli politics. What would that mean if an Arab party somehow forms part of the coalition government?
This is absolutely unprecedented. The fact that Mansour Abbas, the head of the Islamist Ra'am party, is the kingmaker right now. And if he decides to put his votes, go with Mr. Netanyahu, then Mr. Netanyahu has a coalition. If he decides to go with Netanyahu's opponents, then they have the upper hand. So he's clearly in an unprecedented position, which no Arab politician before him in Israel has ever been in. And it's fascinating to see. And it's interesting to see how this will unfold, because first of all, within his party, there are people who oppose such a move of supporting a right-wing coalition. And in the right-wing coalition, in Netanyahu's own party, there are voices that are coming out against any cooperation with Mr. Abbas. So this still is an open question that has not been answered yet. But it's very, very interesting.
It really is a fascinating time for Israeli politics. Let's just hope there's not a fifth election. Mr. Arbell, appreciate your time. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you. Good evening. Thank you.